Hey, welcome back to the podcast. Today, we're going to be discussing the ancient Vedic truth about why you actually exist. And I wanted to bring this topic to the podcast because in the Ayurveda Alchemist Academy, we've been learning about Ayurvedic philosophy and psychology. And it's so interesting to bring these questions to the surface because I'm sure that you've had a moment in your life, maybe just in the middle of a completely ordinary day, where you suddenly ask yourself, why am I here? What is the actual point of all of this? And not in a dark way, not in a crisis way, but in a genuinely curious, almost aching kind of way of wanting to know. Like something deep inside you knows there is more to your existence than the to-do list and the school runs and the work emails and the endless scrolling on social media. So if you've had that feeling, that quiet but persistent sense that you are here for something, that your life means something, that you mean something, I want you to know that feeling is not random. It is not anxiety. It is not existential crisis. That feeling is ancient, and Ayurvedic philosophy has been pointing to it for thousands of years. So today, I want to take you into one of the most profound and beautiful teachings that I have ever encountered. A teaching that the first time I really understood it genuinely changed how I see myself, how I see other people, and how I see the whole experience of being human. It is the story of Parusha and Prakriti. And it is at the heart, the story of why you exist. So stay with me because this one is going to go deep. Now, to understand Purusha and Prakriti, we have to go back, way back before the world existed, before matter existed, before time existed. In the beginning, according to Ayurvedic and Sankhya philosophy, there was only Parusha. Purusha is pure consciousness, pure awareness. It has no form, no color, no weight, no gender. It simply is. It is the eternal witness, the unchanging, formless, infinite field of awareness that underlies all of existence. Think of it like this. Imagine a vast, infinite ocean of consciousness, perfectly still, perfectly clear, endless, boundless. That is Parusha. And alongside Purusha, or perhaps more accurately, in the presence of Purusha, was Prakriti. Prakriti is the primordial nature. She's the source of all matter, all energy, all form. She contains within her the potential for everything that has ever existed or will ever exist. Every mountain, every flower, every ocean, every human body, every emotion, every thought, all of it exists in potential with Prakriti. But here's the thing. In the beginning, Prakriti was unmanifest. She existed in a state of perfect equilibrium. Her three qualities, the gunas, tamas, rajas, and sattva, were in perfect balance. Nothing was moving, nothing was creating, everything was just potential, but nothing was actually expressed. And Purusha, the vast, infinite, eternal consciousness, simply was witnessing, aware, but unmoving. So what happened? Well, Purusha wanted to know itself. That is it. That's the whole story in one sentence. Pure consciousness, infinite, eternal, formless awareness wanted to know itself. But here's the paradox. You cannot know yourself in isolation. You cannot see yourself without something to reflect you back. You cannot express yourself without contrast, without form, without the play of existence. Purusha could not only know itself by simply being in a conscious state, but it needed to know and understand form. And so it needed a mirror. And so in what the ancient texts describe as a kind of divine collision, the gaze of Purusha fell upon Prakriti. And that gaze, that first act of witnessing, disturbed the perfect equilibrium of Prakriti. The gunas were then set in motion. So that potential started to be set into motion. And from that motion, the entire manifest world erupted into existence. The mountains, the oceans, the stars, the planets, the animals, the seasons, the elements, all of it, every single thing that you can see, touch, taste, smell, and feel is the result of Parusha, that pure consciousness, wanting to know itself in physical form, and Prakriti responding by becoming form. Creation itself is an act of self-inquiry. And we, you and I, we are the most extraordinary expressions of that, because we are not just matter. We're just not a physical thing. We are form, body, nature, experience, infused with Purusha, consciousness, awareness, and eternal witness within. We are the place where consciousness meets creation. And that's why it's so special being a human being. We are how Purusha knows itself. Now, I want you to really sit with that for a moment, because I think this changes everything. You did not arrive here by accident. Your existence is not random. You are not here simply to get through your days, to tick boxes, to perform a role, to meet other people's expectations, and then just quietly exist. You are here because consciousness itself wanted to know itself through the experience of being you, through your specific body, your specific mind, your specific emotions, your specific life. The way Purusha experiences itself through you is utterly unique. Nobody else on this planet offers consciousness the exact same vehicle for self-knowing that you do. You are irreplaceable, and not in like, that's a cute greeting card saying. You are irreplaceable in a cosmological way. And this gives the whole project of self-knowledge a completely different weight. When we talk in Ayurveda about knowing your Prakriti, your constitution or your innate dosha, we are not just talking about figuring out whether you're Vata, Pitta, or Kapha, so you know what to eat for breakfast. We are talking about the deepest possible of participation in the purpose of existence. To know yourself is to fulfill the very intention of creation. Think about the times in your life when you have felt most lost, most disconnected, most like you were just going through the motions. I would wager that in those moments, you were furthest from yourself, furthest from your own nature, living in a way that was out of alignment with who you actually are. And think about the times when you have felt most alive, most lit up, most like yourself. The moments when time disappears and you are completely present and everything feels right. In those moments, you are aligned with your Prakriti. You are being yourself so completely that Parusha, the consciousness within you, was fully present. That feeling of aliveness, that is Purusha recognizing itself. And so now I want to bring in those three gunas that I mentioned earlier, because they are essential to understanding how this all works in our daily lives. Prakriti, primordial nature, is made up of three qualities, the three mahagunas, meaning the three great qualities. And they are tamas, rajas, and sattva. And everything in the manifest world, including you and I, is a unique combination of these three. Tamas is the quality of heaviness, stillness, inertia, darkness. Tamas is not bad. It is necessary. It is what allows you to sleep. It is what gives matter its solidity. But too much tamas in the mind creates heaviness, depression, confusion, and disconnection from yourself. Rajas is the quality of movement, passion, activity, desire. Rajas is what gets you out of bed. It's your drive. It's what drives you to create, to build, to connect. But too much Rajas creates restlessness, anxiety, reactivity, a mind that is so busy moving that it cannot be still enough to witness itself. And Sattva is the quality of clarity, harmony, light, truth. Sattva is the quality that allows Purusha to see itself more clearly through Prakriti. When the mind is sattvic, clear, calm, present, self-knowledge becomes possible. The mirror is clean. And this is why so many of the practices that we use in Ayurveda and yoga are fundamentally about cultivating sattva. The food we eat, the daily routines we follow, the breath work that we do, the meditation, the time in nature, all of it is designed to quiet the noise of tamas and rajas so that the light of sattva can shine, so that Parusha can see itself. When you do your morning routine, when you sit in meditation, when you breathe consciously, when you eat food that nourishes rather than numbs you are not just being healthy. You are clearing the mirror. You are making yourself a clearer vessel for consciousness to know itself through. That is the real purpose of every Ayurvedic practice. And so I want to close with this. We live in a world that is extraordinarily good at pulling us away from ourselves. The noise, the demands, the comparisons, the performance, the endless stimulation. All of it is deeply rajasic and tamasic. All of it clouds the mirror. And so the most radical, most revolutionary, most spiritual, significant thing that you can do in your life is to commit to knowing yourself. Not the version of you that other people need you to be, not the version of you that looks good on the outside, the actual you, your Prakriti, your unique expression of consciousness, the specific, irreplaceable way that Purusha chose to know itself through your existence. And that is why I do the work that I do. This is why Ayurveda matters to me so deeply, because it is not just a health system. It is a framework for self-knowledge. It is a path back to yourself. And every time you choose a practice that brings you home to yourself, every time you slow down, every time you breathe consciously, every time you sit in stillness and just listen, you are participating in something ancient and sacred. You are Parusha waking up to itself. You are creation becoming aware of itself through you. You are here, you are conscious, you are exactly where you are supposed to be. And that is enough. And if this episode resonated with you, something sparked an understanding, if you could understand the Parusha within you, I would love for you to share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you want to go deeper into Ayurvedic philosophy, into understanding your own Prakriti, your own constitution, and how to live in alignment with your true nature, that is exactly what we explore inside the Ayurveda Alchemist Academy. I will drop the link in the show notes, but we do have a very, very special Ayurvedic breathwork and meditation retreat coming up in Bali at the end of June this year in 2026. It is going to be absolutely magical because Bali is the island of the gods. It really is a place where you can really witness yourself. You can feel the Purusha inside. And when we do these powerful practices, when you actually learn how to utilize the breath to know yourself better, to know your external existence, something so profound and powerful happens to you, your Prakriti, you, who you are. And it shows you what you are here doing. Why are you existing? And from that knowing, everything flows. Alignment in your life just opens up. This beautiful, beautiful vessel, this beautiful way of seeing, and your experience here in this human body as a spiritual being becomes so profound and so enjoyable. Namaste. I will pop the link to the ISL Vedic breathwork and meditation retreat in the link. Now, it is a practitioner training, but you do not have to do the training component of it. You can still come to experience yourself the breathwork practice, learn about it, and the meditation. But if you would like to become a Vedic breathwork and meditation practitioner so that you can help other people know themselves, then that is possible for you on this retreat as well. Thank you so much. I hope you've enjoyed this episode.